Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about how we rode the 3 worst rated train routes on Amtrak. And I'm gonna give you a few warnings on what went wrong, what you could do different, if anything, and what Amtrak did about each of those. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and join me as we show you what our 3 train rides were like. All right, it is just after 9. We're getting ready to board the Sunset Limited pulling in behind me. We're getting excited to head over to New Orleans. Today we bring you along as we travel on Amtrak's southernmost route, the Sunset Limited. We will travel 1,995 miles from the California mountains through the night as we make our way east into the southwestern deserts. We'll travel along the Mexican border to make our way to the Bayou country shortly after crossing the Mississippi River. We complete our journey through California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and finally arriving into Louisiana on day 3. Our journey begins at night as we board the train near bedtime, so our beds are already made for us. We hop into bed and we are ready to leave California. We will start our journey on day 2 as we wake up for our first fresh air break in Arizona. Now, the Sunset Limited is the oldest continuously running named train in the U.S. It has been running since 1894. It crosses the Continental Divide, the Rio Grande, as well as the Mississippi River. There are many sights to see along the way, but our first stop is in Tucson, Arizona for our fresh air break. Okay, we stopped for our first fresh air break. We are here in Tucson, Arizona. You can see the train here behind me. We haven't had breakfast yet, but I do apologize because I was so rude and didn't even say goodnight to you last night. So we got on the train at 10 p.m. as we mentioned earlier, and basically we were ready for bed. So we just went back right to bed about 11 o'clock. So we didn't say goodnight to you. But anyways, here we are. Happy morning to you. We're gonna head to breakfast after we get our legs stretched out here in Tucson, Arizona. The Sunset Limited has traditional dining, so we are excited to order our favorite breakfast. The railroad French toast with a side of bacon is my favorite. It is served with fresh fruit on top as well as whipped cream. It is always a tasty treat, and it has yet to let me down. Now, Rob's choice, he chooses the scrambled eggs, sausage, potatoes, and a croissant. We sit and enjoy the views of the desert in Arizona as we eat our breakfast. Now we're going to show you guys around the train, starting with our room. So we've got 2 seats here and they are facing each other. So you've got the window in the middle and the 2 seats are across from one another. You've got the table here in the middle. You can pull that out if you want to get some work done. It does have some flaps that fold out as well. Now on my seat, we'll start here. There is only one outlet in the Superliner Roomette, so we always carry this one with his absolute favorite. You can hook up 4 USB items as well as plug something right into the outlet on the outside. We always travel with this. It is a universal adapter as well, so it's nice to have those 4 spots as well as being able to plug something into the front here. Sometimes I plug my flat iron in here to use as I'm getting ready in the morning, so this is great to have. Now you also have temperature adjustment here. You can make it cooler or warmer. It's also set to normal. Normal is going to make it feel like the hallway temperature essentially, and then you can make it a little bit cooler, turning it to the left, and a little bit warmer, turning it to the right. It's not going to change the temperature a ton, but it will make a little bit of a difference. You'll be able to feel that. There is also a light, a reading light on this side as well. Just make sure not to point it at your partner's face across from you. Now on the other side, we've got the attendant call button as well as the control for the ceiling light and also the night light as well. Then we've also got the music control buttons here. Now these music control buttons don't actually control music. They do control the announcements overhead. So just make sure you check that when they are making the announcements, because you can turn those announcements off in your room so that you don't hear those if you're trying to take a nap in the afternoon or whatnot. They don't make announcements at night. You do have a reading light on this side as well. Again, don't point it right at your partner's face. Now, these are the steps that Rob uses to get up to his upper bunk when he goes up there. We do use them as storage during the daytime. You've got a nice full-length mirror here. And I keep my big backpack right here on this top step during the day. Now at night I set it over in the corner so it's out of the way, because it is challenging to come down those steps if you've got something like this in the way. Rob could trip and fall down. We don't want that. Now on the other side, you've got a little trash bin here where you can throw your trash away. Then you've got a small closet here. You've got hand towel and washcloths provided for you for your shower or just to freshen up. It is a very small closet, so there's not a lot of storage in there, but you can always just hook your jackets out here, or there's another coat hook here in front of the closet as well.
All right, time to talk upper bunk, and this is my bunk bed here. It is a great place to be. You kind of have a lot of privacy up here. You don't have any windows though over here on the side, and that's kind of a bummer, because I do like to look out at night. You only get those on the Viewliner. You won't get any windows on a Superliner, which is the routes that are west of Chicago. So I do also have this little net here, and in the net I keep some snacks, my headphones, some water, any medication I might need in the night, and that's good. They do also give you a blanket up here and a pillow. I've brought my trusty travel pillow with me as well. That's a good thing to have. Now, one other thing I have up here is a light right here, because it is kind of hard to reach the controls. Downstairs you'd have to come down and do that, so I don't usually want to do it at night. I just use that at night. And to get up and down, the best thing to do to go in head first and go back out feet first, because you've got these steps right here that you can step on, and they're pretty easy to go down backwards. So this is, I wouldn't call this the biggest area to sleep in, but it is nice and it is comfortable. The bed is plenty long for most people, and I really like it. Alright, once you get in the bathroom, all you have to do is slide that little handle and the light will light up. That lets you know you're locked in. And this is a Superliner 1, I believe, and it has the nicer bathrooms than the Superliner 2. So if you're in a Superliner 2, see if there's a Superliner 1 you can walk through. The toilets are angled, so there's a lot more space. On the other ones, they're just kind of straight, and you run out of space real quick on those. The other thing is these faucets are much taller, a lot more room, and the water stays on when you hit it, which is really good. So this is probably, I'd say, one of the better Amtrak bathrooms. You do have 3 of them, like I said, down here, 1 upstairs. There's not many people down here, so these are almost always empty. And then the shower is right across the hall. Let's go check that out. Same deal in here. You're just gonna slide that lock, light comes on, and you do have a place for dirty towels, so no one has showered today. Have all these towels that you can put there, and kind of a seat to sit on, and a pretty big shower, actually. You've got a 2-step process here. So what they're telling you to do is to set the temperature here with number 1, and then hit the button there, push it for number 2. You do that, the water's gonna come out right there. So I'm gonna hop out before I accidentally do that, because I don't want to take a shower right now. And that's a shower in Amtrak. A lot of people ask if you have to wait or you have to pay or if there's a time limit. Showers are free, there is no time limit, And quite honestly, in all the Amtrak rides I've ever taken, I've never seen anyone take a shower. I have taken them though, but I've never seen anyone else getting in or getting out of it. So if you come down here and you want to take a shower, it'll almost assuredly be empty.
For lunch, we opted to eat in our room, and we did decide to mix things up a little bit by picking one item from the children's menu, which is the hot dog and the hamburger, and then we just split both of them and sat in our room and ate as we watched the views of the desert.
We have stopped in El Paso, and it is warm here, a little over 90 degrees. But there's a big treat here at the El Paso platform. That is the famous El Paso Burrito Lady. She is right outside the train with a cooler full of burritos. You can hop off, buy one of those from her, and it will be delicious.
And again, for those passengers that wish to step off for a quick smoke, you can do so. However, we do ask you please do not smoke in front of the doors. Also, for those passengers that wish to step off to stretch your legs, you can do that as well. We are running on time, so that means we can't leave the station until scheduled departure time, and that is 12:10. So, for those that feel like being risk takers, if you feel like you want to wander away from the train, you can do that. However, that is your choice, and please be back by the train by 12 o'clock. Okay, once again, for those passengers that wish to wander away from the train, please be back by 12 o'clock. We will depart on time, and if you're not back by then, we will be leaving you behind.
We have stopped here in Houston for a rather long break. Got about an hour and 20 minutes. But as you can see, it has been and is still raining pretty heavily, so we're just kind of camped under this awning here in Houston. Not much we can go do, but we've been hanging out with our room attendant D and talking to him and having a good time.
we are finishing up our time here in New Orleans, and we are ready to head up to Chicago. We're riding the City of New Orleans Amtrak route today, so kick back, grab the beverage of your choice, and join us on this train ride. So as we leave the station in New Orleans, one of the first things that we see is the stadiums, Smoothie King Center and the Superdome. These happen to be right near the station, and it's one of our favorite things to see from the train is to see different stadiums from the different sports of the cities we are riding through. Now, the City of New Orleans route is a little bit different. It actually has the best on-time arrival record of all of the Amtrak routes. So that is a good thing to keep in mind when you are scheduling a ride on the City of New Orleans. This is a little bit different route for Amtrak, and it is one that is enjoyable. There are some beautiful views early on in this trip as well as later. Right now, you get to ride through the marshlands and get some incredible views of Lake Pontchartrain out the windows as we leave the City of New Orleans behind us. So here are a few more of the views as we depart this area.
All right, we are at our first scheduled fresh air break in Jackson, Mississippi. We haven't been here in a while. The last time we were here, we were on a road trip all across the country. This time we're doing it by train.
So guys, since we had a short ride from New Orleans to Chicago, we decided to splurge a bit and use up some of our coupons and points to get a bedroom. So let's take a look around this very spacious room for those who are wondering also what the bathroom and shower situation is like for those roomettes. Here's a quick tour of those. All right, so the bedroom is a very nice, spacious place to enjoy your journey. You've got your own little vanity right here. Open up, get it with a little medicine chest. They do give you all of your paper products and towels as well for use in your personal bathroom. You've got a closet. It is a very small one. It's about half of the size of the ones in the roomette because it's shorter, but it's about the same width as the one in the roomette as well. You've got your light, your night light, and your call attendant button, and your light switches as well for above and the night light as well. And you've got a nice table in between the seats. You've got the one seat by itself. This one folds up and moves out of the way if you want to have a little bit more space in the room. And then of course, Rob's penthouse up here, which is easy. It just folds down real quick and he can hop right in there and get to bed. They do provide you with a ladder so he can climb up. Little extra storage space there. Now let's take a look at the bathroom. So let's turn the light switch on. Okay, so here's what we've got. It's a shower toilet stall all in one. So you've got your shower head up above, and it's 2 different functions to get the shower on, and you've got your toilet paper. Now there is a cover that slides down and goes over the toilet paper to cover that up. And like I said, they do provide you with towels. This folds out into a nice big bed. It's a little bit bigger than the bed in the roomette. And then as I mentioned before, you've got that table there in the middle. This is the wall that you share with the room next to you. So you will hear a little bit of ambient noise from over there, but not too bad. Pretty spacious room overall. See if we can pull this bed down. There we go. So it's a typical bed. The mattress for my bed down below is stored up here, as well as our pillows and blankets throughout the day. So that's a tour of that. Rob's going to take you down here and he's going to give you a tour of the bathrooms and the showers.
Alright, once you get in the bathroom, all you have to do is slide that little handle and the light will light up. That lets you know you're locked in. And this is a Superliner 1, I believe, and it has the nicer bathrooms than the Superliner 2. So if you're in a Superliner 2, see if there's a Superliner 1 you can walk through. The toilets are angled, so there's a lot more space. On the other ones, they're just kind of straight, and you run out of space real quick on those. The other thing is, these faucets are much taller, a lot more room, and the water stays on when you hit it, which is really good. So this is probably, I'd say, one of the better Amtrak bathrooms. You do have 3 of them, like I said, down here, 1 upstairs. There's not many people down here, so these are almost always empty. And then the shower is right across the hall. Let's go check that out. Same deal in here. You're just gonna slide that lock, light comes on, and you do have a place for dirty towels, so no one has showered today. Have all these towels that you can put there, and kind of a seat to sit on, and then a pretty big shower, actually. You've got a 2-step process here. So what they're telling you to do is to set the temperature here with number 1, and then hit the button there, push it for number 2. You do that, the water's gonna come out right there. So I'm gonna hop out before I accidentally do that, because I don't want to take a shower right now. And that's a shower in Amtrak. A lot of people ask if you have to wait, or you have to pay, or if there's a time limit. Showers are free, there is no time limit. And quite honestly, in all the Amtrak rides I've ever taken, I've never seen anyone take a shower. I have taken them though, but I've never seen anyone else getting in or getting out of it. So if you come down here and you want to take a shower, it'll almost assuredly be empty.
All right, guys, so our first meal on the city of New Orleans is dinner. Since we got on around 1:45, it was just after lunchtime, so we brought sandwiches on with us. So we are ready for some dinner. Rob's got himself the steak with the potato. I've got the salmon with the ancient grains and vegetables. Remember, you do each get one alcoholic beverage per person per ride, so you can enjoy that with your dinner. The salmon and the steak are both delicious. You can't go wrong with either option on your train ride. So we did sit here and enjoy this before we headed back to the room to relax and enjoy the views.
All right, we are here in sunny Los Angeles, California at the beautiful Union Station behind me, getting ready to hop on the Southwest Chief. All right, so we'll be taking the Southwest Chief from Los Angeles, California, all the way to the windy city of Chicago. Since we are hopping on in the terminus city of Los Angeles, we are able to board about 30 minutes early, and I just love to watch the train as it arrives to the station. We are alerted by our Metropolitan Lounge attendant when to head to the track and prepare for boarding. And after everyone has boarded, we are cleared and ready to leave the station, and we are certainly eager to check out the views as we leave the city. There are lots of great views from both sides of the train of the city of Los Angeles as you pull away, and you are quickly out of town after just a few short minutes. The Southwest Chief is a 2,265-mile ride that takes you through California, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and finally into Illinois. It gives you a great view of the American West. We'll make our way through the deserts, mountains, ranches, missions, and pueblos, as well as the wheat fields as we approach our destination city of Chicago. This is a 3-day train journey. The Southwest Chief has been known as the Train of the Stars. We do like to head straight to the observation car upon boarding the train to enjoy some of the sights from both sides of the train. Remember, the Sightseer Lounge, also known as the observation car, is open to both sleeper car passengers as well as coach passengers. There are seats facing the window for great views, and you can even sit in there and get some work done or enjoy your meal at the tables provided in this train car. After a bit, we head back to our room to prepare for our first meal on the train, which is dinner. On this train, the dining car attendant comes by your room to make reservations for dinner. Now remember, you may have to sit with someone that you don't know, so you can always opt to have your meal in your room if you prefer. They've got the white tablecloths out for us as well as real flowers on the table. Our dining car attendant, Jeff, even had some lovely music playing in the background as we enjoyed our dinner. We are served warm rolls before our appetizers arrive, and I also enjoy a complimentary glass of wine with my dinner. Rob got the green chili cheese tamale, and per usual, I've chosen the lobster crab cake for my appetizer. We both ordered steak, which is cooked to order. Rob got his with a baked potato, while I got mine with cheesy polenta. Both meals came out perfect. Chef did a great job at preparing all of our food as we ordered them. Now for dessert, we both chose the cheesecake with fresh strawberries on top. The food was absolutely delicious. As I mentioned, the chef and the food specialists on this particular train were excellent. They did a great job at not just preparing the food the way you ordered it, but also doing a beautiful job at plating your food as well.
It is getting late and day 1 is in the books, so we better go to bed soon because we do want to get up for breakfast. So it's going to be lights out now, and we will see you in the morning.
Well, good morning. Breakfast is from 6:30 to 9, and it is almost 8. So I think we've lazed around enough this morning, and we're gonna head on down to breakfast. We woke up in the middle of the desert here in Arizona. Already been through several Route 66 towns, and even Petrified Forest National Park. So we're gonna go down and see what kind of views we can get from the dining car while we eat breakfast. All right, so at breakfast, you do have a selection of assorted juices, as well as your choice of coffee or tea or water or any combination of any of those. You can also order a soft drink as your beverage for those of you who prefer that in the morning. We've got some great sights to enjoy as we await our breakfast. I chose the railroad French toast with a side of bacon, and I got my syrup on top, so it's sugar on sugar. And Rob ordered the scrambled eggs with pork sausage, and he also gets the side of potatoes and a croissant with his meal as well. Both our breakfasts were delicious as always, and they did exceed our expectations. Okay, this is actually our first fresh air break that we could take advantage of. There was one, but it was kind of in the middle of the night, so we decided to not do those in the middle of the night. So we're out here in Gallup, New Mexico, and it's a little bit windy, and it feels really nice out here. Just enjoying some of the views of the Route 66 towns as we ride through. All right, made it to Albuquerque, and this is a little bit longer fresh air break, so we get to walk around. This is a nice platform. You can walk around here. If you've got plenty of time here, you can also walk to the grocery store if you're looking for some snacks, or if there's anything that you need, you can walk over there and get some snacks for yourself. There's a big crew change here as well, so that takes some time. So that's one of the other reasons why this particular stop takes a little bit longer, and it's quite nice. On the weekends, they usually have vendors out here. They don't have them out here today, but they usually have vendors out here on the platform, all kinds of fun kind of homemade type things, rugs and blankets and jewelry and things along those lines. So lots of options here in Albuquerque. Usually get a much longer fresh air break.
Alright, just as we're leaving Albuquerque, we are going to eat some lunch. We had our lunch delivered to us in the room here. We thought we'd watch while we eat while we watch the sights go by. I chose the Amtrak cheeseburger. Now, I have, in the last couple of months, had cheeseburgers on several train lines, including Europe, including the UK. And so I've compared all these cheeseburgers, and I think this is the best one. Second would be the Caledonian Sleeper, but they're a little bit small. So if you want cheeseburger on Amtrak, this is a great one. So I'm gonna dig into this and see how it is today, but from prior experience, I know it's gonna be pretty good. Ooh, this feels real good. That is cooked perfectly. The chef on this train, the Southwest Chief, is amazing. All the food, I think, is like one level up from where it normally is. Southwest Chief, crew, you're doing a great job.
Okay, Rob may be a burger aficionado. I am a grilled cheese aficionado. So I'm having the artisan grilled cheese, and it's got turkey in there and the cheese in there. And that's going to be really good. I've had it before. It is quite tasty. And then you do get the taro chips and the delicious coleslaw, which is really good on Amtrak. One of my favorites, because I like my coleslaw a little bit sweet. I don't know about you, but I like my coleslaw a little bit sweet, and this one is perfect. So let me actually go ahead and take a bite of the sandwich, because it looks really good. It's got like crispy cheese on the outside. Oh yeah. Very good.
Okay, we have to have a quick talk about these taro chips though. Because I've been eating these taro chips for a while now on Amtrak, and I just found out those are not potato chips. Those are just cut up vegetables. You've been fooling me. So apparently I like vegetables now. I can't get away with that excuse. Those are pretty good. In my defense, they are kind of covered in salt, but they're still pretty good. All right, time for a quick room tour, and we are in a Superliner 1 roomette on this train. And so I'm gonna give you a quick look around the room. There are 2 seats, one on each side. One person will be facing forward and one person will be facing backward. And then at night, these seats fold down and they close this gap here and make one bed for the bottom person. So one person will sleep there, and I will be sleeping up here on this other bunk up here. But as for the person on the bottom level, there is one charger only. It's behind, we've got this big thing charged into it. And we've got that because ours comes with 4 USB ports. We'll leave a link to the description to get that if you want one of those. That is one of the best things you can have, because if you don't have something like that with you, you can only charge one thing the whole trip, and we all know that's not enough. So you also have some lights there and a hook to hang things there. And then down here, this is used for a little bit of storage, but this is also the steps to get up to the top bunk. So that is where I'll be climbing up to get up to the top bunk in a little bit. You do have a table here when you're not sitting. If you want to eat dinner in your room, you just pull that out like that, and these fold open. There's a checkerboard pattern in here, but I don't think checkers are included. But if you want to bring some, that is something you could definitely do. So I'm going to show you what the bunk looks like up here. To get it down, you just pull this little handle, and the whole thing comes right down. So this is my bunk, and all of the we keep all the sheets and stuff up there during the day, which is what it is right now. Now it is pretty tight up here, I will say that. So if one of you is claustrophobic, you definitely want to have that person on the bottom level. And someone who doesn't mind tight spaces will need to be up here, because it is tighter than you might think. But I don't mind it. I'm not claustrophobic at all. Now the Superliner, on the wall here, there is no window either, which the Viewliner has the windows. I do love that feature, but this one doesn't. It does have a nice little net here, which you can keep. I keep my headphones, some snacks. I've got goldfish and water up there for later tonight. And then there's another pouch over here that you can keep your glasses and your phone in. Now, interesting thing about this one, I've been in a lot of these roomettes before, and every single time this air vent is facing the other way. So the air blows out this way, but every other time I've been in a roomette, the air is blowing this way onto the people. And it becomes such a problem that people would bring like duct tape and put it over here, which would be this side, to stop it from going. But on this one, they've switched it. So I don't know if this is like an upgrade or like a reimagined room, or just a mistake, but they have switched this, and now at night the air bounces off the wall and just kind of makes the whole room cool, and it doesn't blow right on the person that's on the top bunk. So that's actually really cool. Even though I don't mind being cold, I know that that's something that a lot of people have had a problem with in the past, so that is a big upgrade. And then we've got these harnesses here, and on this particular one also, they are pretty solid, like almost like a wall. Some of them, they're loose and they'll lay down like that, and you almost feel like it's not going to catch you, but it definitely will catch you. So that's it for this room. Oh, one other thing I did want to mention, you might have noticed, we have like, so this is my mattress here, this one, and then this is Allie's mattress, and it actually goes on the seats down there, but she thinks that these seats are so plush that she doesn't even need it. And these mattresses are pretty thin, so she's nice enough, she gives me her mattress, so I actually sleep with both mattresses up here, and she just puts the sheet on that bottom bunk. So if you have a little problem, if the person on top thinks it's a little bit too hard, that's also something you can do, but it does take away another extra 2 inches from your roof space, so that's something to keep in mind as well.
All right, so Rob gave you the room tour. That means I'm gonna give you the bathroom tour. We have a nice spacious bathroom here with the trash can in the corner. You do have the attendant button that you pull out instead of push in, and it's right near the flush button. Got a nice big, fairly spacious area, sink here, and you press it and the water runs, and then after a little bit it turns off on its own. You've got your paper towels here, a nice mirror to look at yourself in if you need to make any preparations, some seat covers, and the toilet paper right next to the sink area. You also have some tissue here if you need it, cups if you want to use those to rinse your mouth out when you brush your teeth, and then extra toilet paper is always stocked up above. I always take a peek at that real quick to make sure that I don't run out. Also, make sure that you note that they do have the bars that you can hang on to. The train can rock quite a bit, and there is a hook on the door as well. Be considerate of others, and don't forget to clean up after yourself. The light that alerts you that the door is locked is right next to the door. So let's head over to the showers. Now, the shower area, again, you want to make sure that you have checked that light, that it is on, and I always like to check it as well, the door, to make sure it is locked before I get started. They do provide you with soap, and as you note here on the box, make sure you toss it out after you have used it, because they are, of course, single use. They've got a lot of brand new ones right there for you to unwrap. A nice mirror if you need to look at yourself. You've got an outlet here if you want to dry your hair or fix it up or anything like that. There's a bag here. You've got your fresh towels outside, and then in this bag you put the ones that are used. There is a attendant button here as well. Again, you pull it, it is right by the shower door. There is a bar here as well that you can hang on to, as well as inside the shower. It is fairly spacious in here. You've got a hook on the back side and a nice bright light so you can see if you need to in there. And then to turn on the shower, there are 2 steps. You do, for the first step, you do want to go ahead and set your temperature, and then after you've set your temperature, then you want to go ahead and turn that switch on by pressing number 2. So there's the first one, step 1. They're marked for you just in case you forget. Set that temperature where you want it, and then you press that button. Step number 2, when you're ready to take your shower. The shower head is removable if you want to. You can also change the direction of it as well once you're inside and you get going. So you can just take that off and it hooks in there fairly easily, and you're good to go. Again, that handlebar on the inside of the shower as well. So you've got plenty of room in here to take care of business on the train. Okay, so the magical question everyone wants to know the answer to is, how much did we pay for our ride? And for this one, we paid $623, and we did use a companion coupon, which we get for being a part of the guest rewards, and we also get them with the Amtrak credit card. So there's a couple different ways that you can earn those. So we used the companion coupon, paid the $623 for the Southwest Chief from terminus to terminus, so we're riding it the entire distance. We did book this several months ago, and we are not traveling at, you know, the busiest time of the year, so that does help to save some money as well. When you're traveling, when you're trying to book your tickets, usually you want to book as far in advance as possible. That's when the prices are going to be considerably less. All right, so we are in Raton, New Mexico. We are not very far from the border of Colorado, so we'll be excited to get across the border there. It's warm here, but there is quite a bit of breeze. You are out in the open here, kind of in the desert area. And also, as you're riding on the train, you want to look out the windows, because there are some, definitely some wildlife to be keeping an eye out for. We've seen some elk, we've seen some other animals running around, and we've also seen some deer too in packs running around, so that's been kind of cool. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Make sure you take a peek out the windows as you're riding along.
Stopped in Kansas City for a mid-morning break, and it's a beautiful station. If you get a chance to get out here, stay the night or something, this is one of the most beautiful stations in the country. Now, over here is a barbecue place called Jack Stack, and we've eaten there one day when we were late over here. You can walk right over this bridge to get there. Yeah, there goes the BNSF train. So, great barbecue right here you can walk around to, but we're only here for a short time. We're trying to make up a little bit of time, and we're hopping right back on right now and heading to Chicago.
Okay, we are on our final fresh air break here at Fort Madison, Iowa. We got the Mississippi on the other side of the train, as you saw of us driving into this stop, but a really interesting one, even though it's going to be a quick break for us today.
right, ladies and gentlemen, that there was Fort Madison, Iowa. It was a nice little break back there, folks. Now we're headed underway to our next scheduled stop. But before that, if you take a peek over on the right-hand side of the train, swivel your neck over to the left-hand side, you're gonna see a big body of water. That there is Mark Twain's very own mighty Mississippi River. Once we get over that majestic river, we will have departed the state of Iowa and entered into a state of Illinois. That's where that next scheduled station stop will take place. It's called Galesburg. Greater Galesburg, Illinois. It's a fine railroad town. It should be in about 50 minutes. Thank you, folks, for traveling Amtrak here on the Southwest Chief.
All right, guys, so now you know. City of New Orleans train route, Sunset Limited, and the Southwest Chief are definitely the 3 worst rated train routes and on Amtrak. And this is because of a few factors. One of them is, of course, the lack of on-time performance. These 3 are notoriously the 3 train routes that are constantly late. Now, the city of New Orleans, not as much as the Sunset Limited and the Southwest Chief, but still doesn't have a great on-time record. The other problem with these is the food inconsistencies. The dining staff on these 3 trains seems to consistently be just inconsistent, for lack of a better term. It just, the service in the dining cars on those train routes is just less than lacking. It just is not good, and the staff changes consistently. They say, you know, oh, we're doing this, we're not doing this. You can sit by yourself, you can not sit by yourself. You can, you know, when you try to eat in your room, sometimes they give you a hard time, even though that is an option and shouldn't be a problem. The other problem is just with the staff in general on those 3 train routes. It's just, again, it can be very inconsistent on who you get. And for the most part, because they're longer train routes, it's usually staff that has been around for a longer time, so you would think it would be a little bit better service. But I think in recent years, they've been turning over the staff a little bit and mixing in some of the older staff, the staff that has been on there for a long time, with newer staff. And I think that's also causing some of those inconsistencies between, you know, the 2 different staffs and the different ways that they've been trained coming in. Things have changed a little bit at Amtrak, and so that's an issue as well. Now, as far as any compensation, the only one that we were, so all 3 trains were late. The only one that we were compensated for was the Southwest Chief, and we just received a $400 voucher for both of us, $400 back to use on another Amtrak train route, so train ride. So basically, you know, they just give you a travel voucher for Amtrak. You don't get your money back. Anytime we've ever done that, like if you ever have any trouble with a train route or it's super late like this, or it's, which I say super late, they're always late, but super late I would consider 6 hours or more late. I always call in when I arrive to my destination and say, hey, this train route was really late, really messed up my schedule, really messed up my trip. And then they almost always offer something right away, and it's usually something like a voucher, and it'll always be something like you know, a travel reimbursement through a voucher. So just kind of be prepared for that, and just know that if it's late, go ahead and call. Almost always you have to take the initiative. Only one time we were on the Coast Starlight one time, and the equipment did break down a little bit, and so they did, the conductor actually came around. It was just in our train car, so the conductor came around to each of us in our train car and said, hey, call them up and tell them we've already let them know the air was not working in this train car at all. I mean, we were literally roasting in there for the train ride, and he came around and told us to call, but I was already planning on doing it anyways, because I had done it before. We've had train rides as late as 12 hours behind schedule before. So just as we've always said, keep in mind that your train rides are not going to be on time, but these are the 3 notoriously bad for all of these reasons that I've mentioned: train routes, the Southwest Chief, the City of New Orleans, and the Sunset Limited. So what do you guys think? What has your experience been on any of these 3 or all of these 3? If you've been on all of them, let me know down in the comments what you think. What are some changes you think that could take place that will make things a little bit better on Amtrak's side? Guys, as always, hopefully you learned something new through this video. As I said before, comment down below with your experience with these train routes and questions that you may have, guys. Hopefully it was helpful to you. If you enjoyed it, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.